Well, welcome everybody to the 2023 WWETT Show. For those of you who haven't ever met me before, my name is Jeff Urbanski. I'm in charge of training and senior manager of marketing as well over at HammerHead Trenchless. And welcome to the WWETT Show. We love coming back here as HammerHead. It's always a great opportunity for us to get in front of our customers and our potential customers, industry experts like yourselves, and really showcase and go through what we like to do as an education. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to everyone back in Lake Mills on our business side and our integrated, what is it?
Integrated supply chain.
See, I got Eric's in the integrated supply chain, and just give them a shout out and say thank you. You guys are the ones that made it here. I've been here in Lake Mills all the way back here in Indianapolis, so thanks. Today what we're going to do is we're going to give you a step-by-step of lateral lining and the utilization of what we call Bluelight. Bluelight is a brand of ours, but it's also a spectrum of light. Everyone knows UV. You hear that terminology quite a bit. That is where a lot of the foundation of light cure technology came from. It's a great tool in that Trenchless tool belt. But Bluelight was a new addition, using LEDs in our version, but it's a different wavelength. So it is slightly different. It's a part of visible light. And today what we're going to do is we're going to invert a 4-inch liner, similar to whatever a lot of people do, whether either doing ambient cure or even if they're mixing two parts and doing either a hot water or steam cure system. What you see before you is a 4-inch line. We've got this covered in a unique way to give you what we call the Bluelight experience. This is a Bluelight protected shield. We put this shield on all our inversion drums so that blue light does not get into the drum and cause the resin to cure, what we call as exotherm. So that means it's going to heat up, it's going to go from a liquid to a solid state. We wet these liners out ahead of time. That's the unique thing about Bluelight, rather than some of the other things that are out there where we have a 2-part epoxy or sodium silica resin. Once you mix the 2 parts, the reaction starts. And kind of there's a sense of anxiety to get the liner in place. If you get it stuck, if other things happen, it's a challenge. And when it comes to light cure, specifically Bluelight, you don't have that anxiety anymore. Once it's in the ground, it's not going to cure until you hit the light on it. It's as simple as that. So today I've got Davey Anderson, I got TJ Scott, a couple of our trainers that are out in the field with our customers on a regular basis. One thing we take a lot of pride in HammerHead is the education side, having a repeatable, scalable, and sustainable training process to take your businesses, grow them, and grow as you hire new people and get them trained up very quickly with the techniques and the things that we do. But they have to be repeatable, and that's a big deal. These guys will use the same language, the same techniques, no matter if they're in one part of the country to another part of the country. We also have an online platform. If you're looking to expand your education with your group, we have a HammerHead University online. It is free. Take advantage of it. Go learn about different things, whether it's bursting, lining, point repair, all the above. And we're happy to showcase and give that to everyone for free. So today what we're going to do is we're going to light this up. So guys, we ready to do a demo? All right, so you guys have already loaded up the inversion drum. I know we're going to go fire up the compressor. That's the only thing we're going to have going here in a second. And these guys are going to invert the liner. You've got it all loaded up. We wetted it out last week. Unique thing about light cure resins, specifically Bluelight resin here, is we can wet these out ahead of time. We can put them in a plastic bag, keep it at under 70 degrees is what we like to do to extend the life. And that liner is not going to cure. That resin in there is going to be fine. You can keep it. You can plan your jobs out for not just one. You can do them a week in advance. A lot of people do that today. It makes a big difference because you can plan your week, plan your shots, and get organized ahead of time and get the liner set so when you're going to do your shots, they're all prepped and ready to go. There it is. So as you get the air pressure up and running, these guys have got everything all ready to go. They're going to first, what we're going to do is invert the liner. So they've got the liner all in there, resined up. When we do our liners, we're adding air to it right now. Our liners, we vacuum impregnate. Why do we do that? We want to make sure we get all the resin, we get the air out, and it's just the resin in. So as he's shooting it, here it is, and then Davey's going to release it, and it's going to shoot out the end, and the rubber bands are out. We just hold rubber bands on the end to hold that air pressure in there as the liner turns inside out. So it's like a sock on your foot. One side's coated, the other side is not. The coated side is what's holding the resin in there. So the other unique thing about the liners when you're using any light cure, specifically our Bluelight version, you want to make sure that your coating is manufactured to adhere to your felt. Why would you need that? Well, The thing you want to make sure is as time goes on when your sewer system, because the coating will become a part of the center of your repair or your liner, you don't want it to delaminate. If it delaminates and it curls up, you have a problem. Most of the light cure resins do not have adhesion. They're not tacky, they're not sticky like an epoxy would be. Therefore, you have to have a liner and a resin that matches up. And what we have from our manufacturer, that's our vendor, onto this liner, we have a partnership with them, and we test this system more than once a year with a variety of testing labs. We're at the ICCS, which is your IPC code. You have the IAPMO, which is our UPC. Our partners at IAPMO are here this week. We also work with NSF, and they have an NSF 14 standard, as well as meeting all the ASTM standards like F1216. So in essence, what just happened here, the guys have got the cal tube now that was loaded in the drum. They've got it strapped on tight. TJ cut the liner so it comes over the top of the straps itself, so it's all nice and neat. And I think we're ready to go, right, boys? So now we're going to add air to the calibration hose that's on the spindle inside. And you're going to do this slowly. If you notice the first time you did this, he went really fast and he got the liner out. With the cal tube, you want to go slow. And he's using, if you watch him, his leg as a brake on the wheel itself. He's slowly inverting the liner, or the cal tube itself, and he's pressing the liner against the walls, the ID of the hose pipe. Why do you want to go slow? We want the liner to get embedded into the cracks, crevices, and imperfections of the pipe itself. He's slowly rolling it out, taking his time, and allowing it to get a good constant air pressure. Once he's got the cal tube all in place, we'll deploy our light head, but most of the cases when we're doing this, we're going to cure this with an air pressure in there of roughly around 10 psi. We want to maintain that pressure, get good hose pipe contact while the resin goes from a liquid to a solid state, and that's during what we call the blue light effect. So we're going to do that. Danny's just taking his time, managing the air. When we train in the field, these guys are right there with you, and they're taking you through it step by step. And we teach you both in the shop and at the job site when you're making money and how to do this and how to make money not only the first time, but repeatable times. That's a big thing we need. This drum itself, we have multiple drums with a quick lock patented door. This is our 225, holds 225 feet of 4-inch liner. We have a smaller version for those applications where you want to get it into a closet, of stairs, even off a rooftop. That's our 125. Which, of course, these are smart part numbers. It roughly will hold 125 feet of liner. So as Davey locks the wheel in place, he and TJ are now shifting the air. The air now was going through the inversion drum. Now what they've done is they've shifted the air to go through the light head itself. We use the air to cool the light head. Think about it. These are LEDs. Yes, LEDs can get warm. And with the blue light spectrum, they get a little bit warmer than anything in the UV realm as well. So he's going to slowly deploy this. If you look at it, it's like a sewer camera. He's got the camera right there that he's watching very carefully, and he's pushing the light head down. There's a glass case around this light head. That glass case acts like almost like an oven glass of an oven. And if you watch, you don't want to make sure you get fingerprints or anything on that light, because if it browns up and it's on there, the light doesn't get through it. We want to, every time we use our blue light system, we do maintenance and we clean the light head with alcohol. Rubbing alcohol is what we utilize, and it makes it get all the fingerprints and anything else off of it. So once he gets it locked in place, what we got here, and Davey and TJ are stepping out of the way, you can see everything going on. There's 6 green lights we have on our blue light system. You got your power, you know what size light head you have, you're looking at pressure, temperatures, and the system is a smart system. The computer tells you if we're good. So what the guys have put in the system, they put in the diameter of the pipe. So here we are at 4-inch. The mil thickness we're shooting, starting mil thickness on this is 3.5 mil. We have a distance that we're shooting, and the guys have that loaded in there. And the computer knows how fast to go. Why is that important? Because you want to make sure you get a proper cure every single time. And municipalities, so you're out there, understand, plumbing inspectors are starting to ask for that spec. So be aware that you need a quality control that's repeatable every time. And that's what we have. So they also hit the dwell button. What are they doing here? We normally We'll let this sit for 10 minutes. Why? We want it to dwell in the pipe under 10 psi of air pressure and let it stretch and take on that shape of the pipe so we get a good fit and finish on that ID. But for demo's sake today, we're going to speed up and just get this done. So let's shut that off. Let's get back to the main screen with the camera. And what we're going to do now, everybody, and I'm going to remind everyone, we got it filtered for you so you're not going to hurt your eyes. It's like looking at the sun. Don't stare at it. But you're going to get what we call the blue light effect with this filter. So we're ready to go. Let's make some pipe. Go ahead and hit start. What you're going to see down here is the light banks are going to start to kick in, and they kick in 2 at a time. So imagine it's 12 and 6 o'clock on a clock, and then it rotates around. All of them will engage themselves. Once it's engaged, the computer system then starts to retract the system. And it doesn't move until it gets enough light into that resin to cause the exothermic reaction. And it really, you'll see how fast this moves today. We're going to be moving pretty quick, about 6 minutes for this whole thing to cure. The system is so smart though, when you plug it into an electric outlet, it knows how much power it is, whether it's a 15 amp service, if it's a little bit larger there, we're working off a generator or compressor, and it manages and monitors the amount of output going to the light heads so they don't damage themselves. It protects all of us as making human error. It's pretty smart technology. And you're going to get a 99 or better % cure with this light head, with this unique resin system. This resin system is proprietary to us. And this is a HammerHead exclusive, so it's really cool. But as it's going through, you can see how fast it's moving in the white pipe. But the cool thing is when we get it out here into the filter, you can get that effect that we're talking about. One thing you'll notice that TJ's doing that's a little different is he's wiping off that white PEX. What is he doing? Well, to lubricate our liner itself and the coating we have, and our cal tube to turn it inside out, we use a clear food-grade mineral oil. Why is that important? If you're using soap, if you're using vegetable oil or anything else, it's got a color to it. That color can brown your light head, which has got a glass. You don't want that to happen. If that's on there, it's going to impact the output of your light head, and it's going to reflect it back on itself, and like an oven, it's going to cook itself. As you can see, you're starting to get that blue light effect. It is curing the pipe. The pipe will get warm to an excess of 160 degrees, and it keeps moving, and it's pulling through. But TJ, as I said, he's wiping off the PEX, and he's doing it nice and neat, and he's keeping it clean. Job site cleanliness, making sure you take care of your equipment, that's the success you'll have with every tool that you have in your Trenchless tool belt. And that's what the guys are doing here, is they're managing the system as it retracts back. This is all, you're creating pipe this quickly. In the past, if this pipe had the mix in there and the liner was in place, and you were struggling with keeping air pressure, or if we lost power right now, that's no problem with blue light. This isn't going to cure. If it stops, it stops. We can get air pressure back up, re-engage the air, we can continue curing again. It's not going to cure without blue light. But if you mix a 2-part epoxy and it's shrunk, it is a challenge. The anxiety's gone, everybody. That's a big deal. You're lining with a different kind of confidence. And that's what we have here. The drums themselves, the blue lights, we have 3 different size light heads. We have what we call our 144s, our small light head that's over there. That light head's designed to do 3-inch elbows and bends, straight shots, as well as 4-inch it can do as well. A lot smaller, therefore it's going to take a little longer to cure. The light head, the next size up, is what we call our 336, designed to do straight 3-inch it can do, but 4-inch elbows and bends, and 6-inch, and that's our middle of the road, that's kind of our centerpiece of this. And then the light head we're working here today is our large light head, our 696. This is speed. It can do straight 4s, and you go all the way up to 10-inch in diameter. And the drums themselves can be changed out in literally 45 seconds. It's like NASCAR changing a tire at a NASCAR event. And the great thing is the computer system knows when you plug a different one in. It registers it immediately, knows that it has to adjust its power output. It's smart technology. The system's also UL safety certified. One of the things we take a lot of pride in at HammerHead, and then our parent company, the Toro company, is everything we touch and do, it's about safety first. Safety for your teams as well as ours. And that is UL rated, so it's safe to use in a variety of applications. Now, we don't want it in the rain, but it is rated to handle events when you're on a job site, because it does happen. As you see, they're pulling it through. The blue light effect is kind of going away from us, and the demo's almost completed. It was that fast. Now, there is a temp. After we're done here, you're welcome to come up and touch the pipe, experience a little bit of what just occurred. We also have a lot of people in gray shirts that have HammerHead on. If you have a question, you have a job site, you want to talk about a project you're working on, maybe there's an opportunity you hadn't thought of in the past, we're here to give you ideas, suggestions. We want to be ambassadors and trusted advisors in this industry and help you be successful while you're taking care of your customers and you're building your business. So on behalf of everyone in HammerHead, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be doing demos as well back in our booth and here tomorrow. You're welcome to join us, ask questions, and enjoy the rest of the WWETT show. Thank you, everybody.